Today I want to introduce you to Butch the Chicken, one of the leading human-chicken hybrids featured in our story. Like most of the other characters in the Mayonnaise Murders, Butch is somewhat comical. He is also the prime enforcer for Deep Cluck, which is a job he takes very seriously, and he is angry all the time. Deep Cluck, who I introduced you to earlier, has become the leader of a movement to get revenge against the human purebreds on behalf of his beloved chickens, who accepted him and took him in when everyone else thought he was just a joke. Now the joke just may be on the purebreds, as Deep Cluck and his army of human chicken hybrids plot a revolution. And with that, the story of Butch the Chicken. What I know about Butch I pieced together from different places, but mostly from Deep Cluck during those occasional times when he was in the mood to actually ramble on imitating a decent conversation instead of always attaching those pretty little knives to every word he utters. Sometimes it would just be flat out boring at the Haley compound, and since Haley had done a pretty effective job of cutting Cluck down to size just for the fun of it, and to let him know who was boss, Cluck seemed more disposed of late to share bits and pieces of his past, the most interesting parts of which were associated with his beloved chickens. So anyway, it seems Butch's story wasn't that much different from most of the freak birds in that he had no idea who his parents were, because he didn't actually have any parents per se. All of the chickens, like Butch, the mutants, were manufactured by some unengineered combination of human and chicken DNA, which was made to work by some brilliantly screwed up process that is way above my pay grade to understand. Suffice to say that when all was said and done, each and every chicken was born an orphan, and an unwanted orphan at that. No hope of adoption, no hope of affection, no hope, period. The only function of the mutants was to produce those gigantic specialized eggs for the collective, which was responsible for producing the drug that was then shipped up to Planet 10 to keep junior critters quiet during their formative years. And that was that. Not much to look forward to each and every day of a life. But if the chickens had been poor dumb animals like their purebred cousins that were actual honest to God chickens, then the whole sorry deal may have worked out somehow, because they would have been too sorry and stupid to complain. But as Butch grew older and began to figure things out, it became harder and harder for him to keep everything inside. For one thing, he simply had to get an answer for why, when it came to regular chickens, one had to be a female to lay an egg. But with the mutants, males could produce eggs just fine. Matter of fact, there were no female mutant chickens. And the males could actually produce larger, more potent eggs at a rate 3 times faster than normal chickens. But then how were they producing these eggs if there were no female mutant chickens to get it on with? Why were those dumbass feathered idiot cousins of theirs allowed to have all the fun to produce an inferior egg? But somehow Butch and those like Butch have been endowed with some messed up biological trait, enabling them to manufacture an egg without the need for copulation. The mutants were producing eggs by getting it on with themselves. Sure, it was efficient, but really? Whose idea was this anyway? So since none of the other mutant brethren seemed to have an answer for this, Butch decided to ask one of the humans the next time one of them visited the giant cages, it looked like prison camps, to extract the eggs. And that right there was Butch's first major miscalculation, since, up to that point, the humans had no idea that the mutants could actually talk. And not talk like a parrot or some other mimic, but actually express ideas and opinions. Opinions such as, why are there no female mutant chickens? What the hell is up with that? Why weren't we engineered to get it on like everybody else? And with that rather amusing bit, stay tuned for our next character. Once again, this was Butch the Chicken, and leading up to the launch of the Mayonnaise Murders on July 21st at Book Suey and Hamtramck. I'll continue to do some readings and of different various crazy characters in the Mayonnaise Murders. Hope you're enjoying this, and I'll see you next time.